Welcome back to Cutting the Boards. In this video, we'll discuss how to crush your surgery rotation. If you're about to start your surgery clerkship, there's a good chance you're feeling a little anxious. Maybe you're wondering how much anatomy you need to know, whether you'll be asked impossible pimp questions, or what residents and attendings are actually looking for. The good news is this: honoring your surgery rotation has much less to do with knowing every answer and much more to do with becoming someone the team enjoys working with. After going through medical school, residency, and now working with many medical students myself, these are the 10 lessons I wish someone had taught me before my first surgery rotation. Let's get started. Every medical student starts surgery with the same belief: if I just study harder than everyone else, I'll honor the rotation. So we spend hours memorizing anatomy, reading textbooks, and stressing about pimp questions. Knowledge absolutely matters, don't get me wrong, but here's what I've learned after working with countless medical students. The students who consistently earn honors aren't necessarily the ones who know the most, but they're the students who make the team's job easier every single day. The single idea is going to drive everything we will talk about today. Residents don't spend the day keeping score of every question you answer correctly. Rather, they remember your habits. They remember: were you prepared? Were you reliable? Did you take initiative? Were you coachable? Did you help without constantly being asked? If I asked a resident 6 months later about a student, I doubt they'd remember whether that student knew the branches of the SMA, but they'll certainly remember whether that student worked hard, came prepared, and made the day run more smoothly. This slide might surprise some people. Most honor grades aren't decided because you answered one difficult question or scored really well on the end of clerkship exam. They're built over weeks of consistently showing up prepared, being professional, taking initiative, and contributing to the team. Every interaction is another opportunity to build trust, and trust is ultimately what leads to strong evaluations. Rule number 1 is show up early and prepared. This is probably the highest yield piece of advice in the entire presentation. Arrive early enough that you're completely ready before rounds begin. Know your patients, review their overnight events, look at the morning labs, review the imaging yourself, understand today's plan. If possible, know who's likely going home and what barriers still exist to discharge. Preparation gives you confidence, and it also demonstrates that you respect everyone else's time. Rule number 2 is own your one patient. Early in the rotation, don't worry about knowing every patient on the service. Instead, choose one patient and know absolutely everything about them. Know why they're here, know their hospital course, know their operation, overnight events, today's biggest issue, the current plan, social work recommendations, physical therapy recommendations. And if you know that one patient inside and out, you'll naturally begin learning how surgeons think, and you'll be able to carry more patients at a time without being overwhelmed. Rule number 3 is prepare for every operation. Every OR case is an opportunity. Before you scrub in, spend 10 or 15 minutes preparing. Know why the patient needs surgery, review the relevant anatomy, understand the major operative steps, know the common complications, and I always recommend coming into the operating room with one specific question you want answered. That transforms you from someone passively observing into someone actively learning. Rule number 4 is ask better questions. Questions certainly matter, but thoughtful questions matter even more. Instead of asking, "What are you doing?" ask, "Why did you choose this approach instead of another one?" Or, "What are you watching out for during this step?" Those questions demonstrate that you've been paying attention, that you've prepared, and that you're thinking critically about the operation and staying engaged. Rule number 5 is find ways to help. One of the fastest ways to earn trust is by helping with all the small things: offering to transport patients, pulling up imaging before rounds, updating the patient list, holding retractors, helping with dressings if appropriate, writing notes for residents to review. Every one of these tasks tells the team the same thing: I'm here to contribute and help out. Those moments add up over an entire rotation. Rule number 6 is master patient presentations. Great presentations are clear, organized, and concise. Don't simply tell the team what happened. Explain what you think is happening now. Then tell them what you think should happen next. Always finish with your assessment and plan. Even if it's not perfect, demonstrating clinical reasoning is far more valuable than simply reading facts. Always come prepared. Rule number 7 is read with a purpose. One mistake I made early on was trying to read everything. Instead, read about today's patients, today's operation, today's anatomy, today's complications, and if your attending mentions a landmark paper, make sure you read it. Learning sticks much better when it's connected to a patient that you've actually cared for. Read for tomorrow and not yesterday, and not random chapters in a textbook. Rule number 8 is every person can teach you. One of the greatest lessons I learned in surgery is that education doesn't only come from attendings. Residents can teach you efficiency, interns can teach you organization, nurses can teach you patient care, scrub techs can teach you instruments and technique. Patients often teach you the most important lessons of all. Treat everyone with respect because every member of the team has something valuable to offer. Rule number 9 is be coachable. Ask for feedback early and often. Don't wait until the last day of the rotation. Ask your residents, what's one thing I could improve on before the rotation ends? Write that feedback down. Implement it the very next day. That's what coachable people do. And trust me, residents notice when someone genuinely improves. Rule number 10 is your reputation starts today. Own it every single day. One thing medical students sometimes forget is that medicine is a surprisingly small world. People remember students, they remember who worked hard, they remember who was dependable, and they remember who they would happily work with again. Your reputation isn't built on one spectacular moment. It's built through hundreds of small interactions, protected from day one and protected every single day. Be the type of medical students that residents ask for by name, and be the type of medical students that residency programs want to train. If I could go back and talk to myself before my first surgery rotation, I'd probably say this. You don't need to know everything. Nobody expects perfection. Preparation beats intelligence. Helping the team matters every single day. Relationships matter. Stay curious, and it's completely okay to say, I don't know. Just don't let that be the end of the conversation. Go find the answers. At the end of the day, your goal isn't to be the smartest student on the service. It's not to answer every pimp question correctly. It's not to impress the attendings with obscure facts. Your goal is to become the student everyone wants back tomorrow. If you consistently show prepared, work hard, help the team, stay humble, and remain coachable, I truly believe that the honors grade usually takes care of itself. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to Cutting the Boards. Every week I'll be sharing practical advice to help medical students and surgery residents become better clinicians. As always, study smart, stay consistent, and your future patients will thank you for it. I'll see you in the next video.